Hello again, Survivors NK Productions back again. Today I'm joined here by Flying Squirrels.
Hey guys, what's going on?
Flying
Yeah,
Squirrels.
with a Z.
Yes, with a Z. Um, Today we're going to be doing a Walking Dead podcast covering Season 5, Episode 1, No Sanctuary. Basically how this is going to go is we're going to first summarize it. Hopefully you've seen the episode, but if not, you should probably watch it. But also the summary should help. Normally, the release schedule will be on Wednesday, right?
Yep.
Wednesday, yeah.
Yeah, we just had a little error there.
Yeah.
Things weren't working out with recordings, and eventually it just got too tiring because we'd worked on it for like 2 hours. And
Yeah.
I'll be honest, Nick wanted to continue doing it, and I gave up. So I apologize for that. But
Yeah, it's completely,
uh-huh.
yeah. Probably wouldn't have been good as the first one, even though the first one Anyways.
All right.
Yeah. So also we'll be discussing some topics later in this podcast, this episode, that we noticed from the TV show and things that we liked and like all that fun stuff. So let's get on with the summary. Basically, what happens is this is going to be very brief, so I won't get too into detail. But there are flashbacks in the episode. We start off with Rick's group. They fully reunited besides Beth and the two sisters. Well, one of them was crazy. Remember that? Sad episode. And so Rick's group, they're all reunited in the train car, preparing to get cannibalized. They get pulled out. It's Rick, Glenn, Bob, and Daryl get pulled out and get dragged by some guys getting cut up, put up on a trough, and they're going to get executed. We see some guys by them that are about to get executed as well. They get hit in the head with a baseball bat and they get their throats slit. Pretty nasty part.
Yeah, definitely.
Then what happens is there's a huge explosion, and we flip over, I think it's then, to Carol and Tyrese and the baby Judith. Yeah. And they're going through the woods, all that fun stuff. They see a huge zombie horde. They hide, and they eventually come across this single guy from Terminus talking about the woman with a sword and the kid with a hat being Carl and Michonne. And they realize, these people have our friends, so they hold him up, tie him in a room, and Carol goes out to help him out. She shoots a gas tank and blows it up with a firework that we saw or a propane tank, a firework that we got from the Terminite. She enters, and basically there's the huge zombie hordes going through the city, and it's all bad, or the little compound. I think we go back to Rick's group then. They're basically escaping. Rick goes all crazy and kills the two dudes. They're escaping. Basically, everybody escapes. They're out in the woods. They meet up with Carol. It's all happy and stuff. They get the bag of guns. They're all armed up. Good reunion with Judith and Tyrese and stuff. And yeah, that's basically it. They get out of Terminus. So it all happens in one episode. And also we see a little sneak peek of Morgan. Remember him? He's from episode 1. And also season 3, when the episode of Clear, where they go back to the city and they find Morgan kind of crazy. But he looks pretty put together in the little sneak peek, so that looks good. But yeah. So let's get on with the topics.
Yeah, sounds good.
So basically, I think one of the things as I noticed is that we noticed was right off the bat there was a then, and then it showed the Terminites basically huddled up in a shipping container. They are captured and stuff by some other people.
Yeah.
Who I think I know who they are, but we'll talk about that
Yeah,
later.
this includes like the leader and some of the other people that we saw
Yes.
from the
Yeah.
city.
Yeah, we actually think it's Rick's group at first, but then you realize, soon that it's not. It's them, the Terminites. But the difference is they're all like kind of huddled up, and what do we think that we were doing, and putting these signs up. And the main bad guy, the Terminus leader's like, we were just trying to be human, or whatever. And then it flashes to Rick's group, which they're like exchanging information and like making shivs and like knuckle knives and stuff. It's pretty cool. and like sawing things, and I just thought it was kind of funny the difference between the Terminus group and Rick's group.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
like
definitely.
like the difference over time, how that how I guess all the hardships have crafted Rick's group to be a lot more tougher, I guess, than the Terminites were originally.
Yeah, but you can see how, things switch places as the
Mm-hmm.
people that were, sorry, that was probably pretty loud. The people who were, captured ended up running the place and
Mm-hmm.
capturing other people. Just,
Yeah.
how things change, all that.
Yep. And also, right after that, we see Rick's group preparing to fight off the Terminites, but they get tear gassed, and I don't know. What do you think of that method, tear gassing them?
Um, what I remember from the episode is them using a lot of resources.
Mm-hmm.
That includes like the tear gas and everything. They seem to have some kind of abundance, and if they didn't, then they were really wasteful during the episode.
Yeah.
'Cause using tear gas, that's obviously pretty expensive. You don't just have tear gas,
Yeah.
lying around.
Mm-hmm.
And then also like later on in or actually earlier what was it, the end of season 4?
Yes.
They had
Yeah.
them all get in the crates. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were firing off bullets like crazy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, because when they were hurting them, they could have just hit a few rounds in the ground, but they were going full
Yeah.
lotto,
They were just 10 or 20 rounds, no big deal. Not
Yeah.
even really using them for much of anything except for getting people to move some other place.
Yeah.
Doesn't take that many.
Yep.
I mean, they shoot one bullet and I'm scared to death.
Yeah. All right. So, if you might have noticed, there was in the trough when they lined them all up, there was a guy on the end with blonde hair. That like Rick looked at, and they kind of like looked in each other's eyes or whatever. They kind of looked at each other, and you're like, you might have thought, you might have known who he was, or you might have not. But I think his name might be Sam. I'm not sure, but he was the dude. He was kind of hippie. He was kind of a hippie. That when Rick was banishing Carol after she killed the 2 people to stop the plague or the virus or whatever was spreading inside the prison, when he banished her and they met up with this couple, these 2 hippie people, and the woman actually died. They had no fighting experience. They're idiots. And the woman died, and the guy we had never heard of again, and he was actually given Rick's watch, which we later see in the episode Carol pick up and look at. So it was kind of interesting. And also, well, the guy dies. He gets his head hit, and he gets his throat slit. So, yeah.
Yeah.
No more questions there.
Fun stuff.
Throat slitting, yeah.
Yeah, that was really graphic.
Yeah.
Like, had the guys come up behind him and hit him in the back of the head with a baseball bat, and then, slitting their throats, and got to see the people's heads just droop down and all the blood squirt out into the trough. And
yeah. That was really well done. Like it looks really good.
It looked really
as good as it can look.
Yeah, I mean, disturbing, but
yeah,
well done.
Yeah. So the bullet casings. So Gareth, is it Gareth? Gareth, something like that. Mm-hmm. The leader of the Terminites. He walks in and he's like, what about your bullets? Right about the dude's about to hit Glenn in the head with a baseball bat, and he's like, oh, so sorry, if my first day or whatever. So, and then he talked about how like some woman was gonna pick up the bullet casings later. So, kind of makes me think that maybe they make bullets.
Yeah, it could be a much bigger organization than we even saw. If they're, because obviously they had an excess of bullets, and if they're making their own, there's a lot of stuff going on.
Yeah, because with all them firing them off, they'd have to get more from just collecting it from scavengers and people.
Yeah, definitely.
So I thought it was kind of interesting to see how systematic the Terminites were.
Yeah, it's like it had been done, hundreds of times before.
Mm-hmm.
And we saw the little thing in season 4 where they kind of went past a gate and there were just tons of human bones,
Yeah.
rib cages and everything, just, all over the place.
Yeah. In like a little fenced-in area, as Rick was like, and his group was running by.
Yeah.
But it kind of makes you think how long these guys have actually been doing what they're doing. Mm-hmm. If it's been for a few months, or I think the apocalypse has been I've heard multiple sources say 2.5 years, which sounds like too long, but I'm not sure. that's how long the apocalypse, people say, has been going on for. So,
Yeah.
I mean, maybe I think they've been doing it for like probably a year and a half. Like the first year, they were probably, probably just a year. The first year they were good, then like they were trapped, and then they're like, all right, we got to be evil. So then they're another year, of being evil. I'm not sure though.
Yeah,
That's my assumptions. But also, we're seeing now that people are finally becoming a bigger threat than zombies are. I saw this in the comics. This is more prevalent, but they're putting this more into the TV show, like the decay of humanity. Zombies becoming less of a threat, even though they still are. People are just the main.
Especially because the zombies themselves, just if you run into one or two, they're not going to be able to do anything to you as long as you know where they are. You can take a couple zombies out, no problem. But people are smart, they can move quickly. They've got weapons and they know how to use them. They can organize things much more dangerous if they have to be.
Little thing was Tyrese carrying a 22. So this was in season 4, but Tyrese has this little pea shooter of a rifle, which is funny for how huge of a guy he is. But it's like tiny when it's on his back. So I mean, I can imagine him with like a saw, an M249 or something, or like a rocket launcher, but not a 22. Also, so when they're on the road and they're hiding from the zombie horde, they're not called walkers for nothing. They're walkers. If I was hiding with a baby, I would not trust the baby to keep quiet. I would keep on going because you could outwalk walkers. It's just, I mean, they're running scenes and stuff. When they're running from zombies, it's like it's not. They're walking.
Yeah.
You can outrun them.
There was the one guy that got down on the floor and was like trying to back up from because there was a zombie that was coming in on him. The zombie was probably 10 feet away to start with, and the guy was like down on the ground with like his back facing the ground. He was like facing up, and he could have gotten up really easily and just ran away, but he just kind of scrambled along on his back like an idiot, and the zombie killed him.
Yeah, face kiss. But that was after Carol blew with the zombie on fire, and after Carol blew up everything. Also, Carol looks like the. I had the name written down, but I forgot it. But from the game, Carol looks like this woman. I don't remember her name. Is it Julie or Ju? It's with a J. It's like Jewel or something. But she when she looks out, it's in the trailer. She looks out the vegetation and there's mud on her face. I'm like, her hair looks almost red. It looks almost exactly the same as the game. If you look at her, it's crazy because there's this woman that was in don't remember any of the characters' names, but in this camp. People thought she was weird because she was always alone and, always had zombie guts and stuff on her. But that's camouflage. Little did they know. All right. Moral question. Should Tyrese have killed that guy? Let's call him Joe. Should Tyrese have killed Joe? Or should he have kept him alive? What do you think?
I would have killed the guy, honestly, after, I guess it's not really shown whether he really did or not. But I'm assuming that he did because, you see it, getting beaten up and all that.
Yeah.
Tyrese is a huge guy, so, good luck to him if he survived or not. I don't know. But, honestly, the guy was he's being really rude.
Yeah.
He's bringing up all kinds of crap that Tyrese didn't want to hear, and he knew it, and then he made Tyrese, go out and fight some zombies and threaten to kill the baby and stuff. The guy was a jerk.
Yeah. I missed that part of the summary where this guy he basically got out of his bonds or whatever, or actually he had him. They just didn't tie him into anything because science and all that. He got out and he's threatened to kill a baby, and he's like, Tyrese, go outside or whatever, and he stepped outside and enraged with the zombies, killed all the zombies. He the dude Joe walked up to the door to look around. Tyrese blasted through and started pounding on his face and would say I'm not gonna do it, or he was yelling something over and over I won't do this, because he was still getting through the deaths of the two sisters. So we don't know if he killed them or not, but I probably would have. Yeah, it's kind of dumb to. I mean, he's in a. First off, he shouldn't have gone into that room. He has a baby. There's only one entrance. If there's zombies, I would I would almost go outside. I don't know. Like if there's
Yeah.
zombies in the door, you can't do much of the baby. You know, I mean,
Uh-huh.
in a like let's say the guy wasn't super as hostile as he was, but he's still hostile. You wouldn't leave the baby in the room alone to go fight zombies if the zombies were on the door. But you wouldn't take you wouldn't take the babies with you to go fight the zombies. The baby with you to
Yeah.
fight the zombies because that's just dumb. So he's kind of cornering himself in that room, you know. So
Yeah,
probably wasn't the
definitely.
smartest of strategies.
I mean, best case scenario there, zombies just don't show up, and if they do, then they're all going to be right around that one opening.
Yeah,
It's just kind of, it's not a good plan.
yeah. All right, so Carol she shoots the propane tank, right, to help Rick and stuff. Then she shoots a firework out of the barrel of a gun just by lighting
Yeah.
it and setting up against a fence, and it makes a perfect arc straight into the cloud of propane, and kaboom.
Mm-hmm.
So
That was a
yeah,
little iffy.
yeah,
But I mean, you'd have to calculate that sort of thing.
yeah. It's like rocket
It's
science, you know.
trajectories and ballistics.
I would just aim it straight at it, you know.
Yeah, that would make a lot more sense, but
Yeah.
had to look epic, you know.
Yeah.
Shoot it straight into the sky and have it come down.
Mhm. And it didn't even take that long. It was like,
No, it was quick.
boom, you know. Versus if there's an actual firework, it'd be like, and then it'd be like a few seconds later,
Yeah.
boom.
And it's
you know?
falling now.
Yeah. So yeah. So there's a point where they're escaping, and there's a shipping container with like screams coming from it, and they
Yeah.
let out this dude who's like this 7 foot tall, like crazy guy, and he like runs
Mhm.
out and he's like, "We're all the same" or something, and he like starts
Yeah.
shaking Rick, and then he gets bit by a zombie. So if you heard the screams from inside, what would you have done, Adam? Flying squirrels.
I would have left the crate untouched.
Mm-hmm.
Um, 'cause who knows who's in there? I think we talked about this. Like,
Yeah.
there could be people who think right off the bat, oh, there's just gonna be those Terminus people coming out and trying to kill us and chop
Yeah.
us up and stuff, and come out there with their weapons that they had
Mhm.
made and stab you. Who knows?
Yeah.
It could have
Yep.
been something just like that, or it could have been, I don't know, full of. I don't even know, man.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, under that time limit and everything, trying to escape, it almost just wasn't worth. I mean, it's
Yeah.
like Glenn said, this is the people that we are. We're still good. We're still
Uh-huh.
good people, but escaping like that, trying to help your friends, that's just adding more time and possible danger to it. So I don't even know if it's worth it.
Uh-huh.
All right. I've always had this little frustration with The Walking Dead is the way they kill zombies with the ice pick style. They hold the knife
Yeah.
like like you would punch, but with the blade pointing down, instead of up, and they go and stab the zombie on the head and like the cranium or whatever in the forehead. And imagine this: where would your where would your wrist be? If you stab a zombie in the head, it would be right in front of its face, right in front of its mouth. All you just to bump it or anything. If there's an open cut and you have an open cut, bam, you're a zombie. So.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Well, I don't know if
it's not the smartest
Yeah.
way to kill the zombie there.
Yeah. I wouldn't even
Um,
use knives, really. It's just
No,
too
it's probably
close.
not a good idea. You'd want something a little longer ranged, like a pipe or
baseball bats.
like- yeah, a baseball bat.
Yeah. Like
Baseball bats are cool.
Yeah. All right. Speaking of melee weapons, where is Michonne's sword at? I mean, come on, that's her staple. I like the double-sided lightsaber shank as much as anyone, but she needs her katana. She cut down a huge group of, well, not really huge, but like 30 or 40 walkers, surrounding her, probably like 30, with her katana.
Yeah.
She can't. That thing's gonna break at like the first real fight, So
Yeah.
they need to find her sword because she can't use that forever.
Yeah.
All right. So Rick is like sneaking up. We see a whole bunch of Terminites walking through, shooting zombies, hip firing.
Yeah. Just once again, big waste of bullets, but
Yep. They apparently have like really good in-game crosshairs, so they're able to get headshots
Yeah.
at like 30 plus meters. So,
right.
I don't know about you, but I don't find getting a headshot easy with a gun. Like I don't claim to be some expert hunter or anything, but I've shot, like guns. I've shot guns before. I've shot things before. I have a pellet gun, whatever.
Yeah.
It's a bit hard to shoot a small object, moving as well. Imagine that, like,
definitely.
moving little things you have to shoot, because there's not much room for error. If you miss a head, you miss everything. So
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
I mean, unless you're missing down, which isn't very common. Unless they're like really far away or something.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
it's it was just I don't know. They should have aimed down sights.
Yep. Jeez, complete noobs don't even aim down sights.
Yeah.
All right. So
they thought they were playing Counter-Strike.
What were they
Silly
doing?
guys.
Jeez.
Yeah.
All right. So Rick goes up. He like shanks the one guy. He grabs his AK and like does this awesome badass mows down people and like turns around. You see it in the trailer. It's cool. It's probably gonna be a thumbnail of this because it looks
Killed
awesome.
like 6 or 7 guys right there.
Yeah. He's like, and he turns around. It's like dun, dun, or whatever. And then it ruins moment where he just picks up the handgun and leaves. And I'm like,
yeah, just leaves all the other AKs on the ground.
Yeah, you're killing me, Walking Dead. You're killing me. This is a survival show. You gotta pick up other guns. It's all about the ammunition.
Yeah, scavenge.
Yeah.
Like, right?
Yeah.
I mean, unless they had fired them all off already, because they were so wasteful.
And speaking of which, he didn't even reload his gun. I mean, the dude fired in the air, right, when he got stabbed. And then then Rick shot it. I'm pretty sure that went through at least 30 rounds.
Yeah, he fired off like 50 rounds or something.
Yeah. No.
Low caliber, I guess. Except not.
What? Yeah.
Nothing.
Is that an AK-762?
I have no idea.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know. All right. So this is a comic book question. Do you think the people, I guess this is kind of anybody that read the comics, but the people that had the Terminites in prison were part of Negan's crew. And this plays in with the end where we see this dude. There's actually a comparison image I'll put up here, but of Negan and the guy, the shaded dude that like walks back in and he's like, no, it's really not, and he hits somebody. But I think that might be Negan. He's an insane guy who has a baseball bat with barbed wire. I think it's called Barbara Lucy or something. And he kills people, and he actually kills Glenn in the comics. But we do not. He'll kill a main character. I know that for sure. But he probably will not kill Glenn just because that's what people expect.
Yeah.
And so they probably won't do that. But he'll kill somebody because he messes up a lot of people, and he like messes up Rick and stuff. And yeah, he's pretty bad. So do you think that they should have went back? So after they got out, got the guns back, and reunited with everybody, that they should have went back and killed the rest of the Terminites instead of just expecting the zombies to kill the rest of them?
There's kind of 2 answers to that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you've got what I would do, and I guess what the group thought they should do, which is what they did.
Mm-hmm.
I would go back and kill the guy because I see him as a threat, honestly. He ran off with a few other guys, and they had guns with them and everything.
Yeah.
And they, excuse me, got to clear my throat. But with all the guns that everyone else left behind, they could just go back and grab all those AKs up and all the, bullets that they had left behind.
Yeah.
So they could, just kind of reassemble. It wouldn't be that big of a deal for them, I don't think.
Yeah.
But the idea or the mentality of the group is they do what they have to do and they try to be the good guy.
Yeah.
So, going back would be, I guess, going over the top for them.
Yeah.
I don't know. I would have gone back.
Yeah. Especially with, this is actually, this is going to be kind of a, I don't know, nerdy reference or whatever, but, so, this book called The Most Dangerous Game, what happens in it is this guy's being hunted, and he can go, he gets hunted and stuff, and he actually wins. He survives 3 days by being hunted down by this guy called General Zaroff, and the game is, you can leave the island. But he goes back, to General Zarov's house and kills him. People can say, or people do say, that he did it to save, any other people that might be hunted down, and the people that are currently being held imprisoned there, or other people say that maybe he should be, I don't know, subdued and tried, or that maybe he should have just left Zarov altogether and just escaped the island. So we kind of just see this.
Yeah,
with The Walking Dead, they could have went back, killed them all. They could have tried to capture them and stuff and imprison them, or they could have just left altogether. There's the right thing, and then there's the right thing. There's the thing that's morally correct, but then there's a thing that's you have to do. You got to do what you got to do.
Lawfully, politically, whatever you want to say.
But I think they should have went back and killed them.
Because, see, the issue there is that by following the rules and not breaking the law, you're putting other people at danger, and they're gonna die. Yeah. So, I mean, you're killing a murderer to save people who he was gonna murder. Yeah. I think that's pretty easy to justify.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
All right. So, all right. The Morgan sneak peek. So we saw Morgan come back from episode 1. He's walking with his cool mask, pulls it down, looks at an X with a circle around it, like the X-Men thing. I don't know what that is. Maybe it's a mark or something left by who knows what. Maybe it's a mark left by Gareth's group. Actually, that might be it. Yeah, because he looked at the sign destroyed, the Terminus sign destroyed, and then he looked at this X on the tree. So it might be by Terminus, or it might be by the Terminus people. Holy cow! Yeah, they might be leaving a path for the rest of their group, and then he's gonna find them, and maybe he's gonna find Rick's group while they're in combat and save them or something. Wow.
Yeah.
Huh. That could actually happen. Thank you. Thanks for listening, watching. I guess you'll be watching and listening because it's how videos work.
There will be a background video. So.
Yeah. So we'll be continuing this hopefully for all throughout season 5. Do you think so?
Yeah.
Do that?
I mean,
try to do
might
that?
miss a few weeks here and there for other reasons, but for the most part, every Wednesday.
Yeah, I'll be doing if Adam can't join me, I'll always be doing one every week. So, but it should hopefully be consistent. Upload on a Wednesdays, not weird times like this. But yep. Thanks for watching, guys. Don't be afraid to subscribe, send me a few grand, whatever. Bye.
Yeah. Bye.
Do outro. It's hilarious. It's not that funny. Zeus. Alright, police station, this is what we're talking about. Come on. Machine guns. Okay, that just happened. Handgun.